Beyond.
Beyond.
It's a live show. I think we could do Beyond.
Beyond?
Beyond and hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan Dormush. I am your host for episode 570 of Beyond Live. We're doing it live. Today I'm joined by Max Scoville.
Aloha.
Aloha. Brian Altana. And Andrew Goldfarb.
I don't know. I don't have a thing. Hello.
That was it. That was perfect.
You did well, Andrew. I believe
Thank
you. Of course. Today, for all of you on this wonderful live show, thank you all so much for attending and being here with us today. We're going to be talking about the Game Awards winners and a lot of the crazy announcements that happened. We're going to be talking about the Kind of Funny Live Showcase and a few of the announcements there. After that, we're going to be joined by a Borderlands 2 VR dev to talk about bringing that game to VR. And then we're going to also jump into the second half of the show and give away some wonderful end-of-year awards that are just here on Beyond.
I used to work with that developer. I should mention.
Yeah, you should probably mention that. Yeah, it's good to know.
Do you want to get the legal stuff out of the way right now?
Yeah, full disclosure.
Yeah,
I
we're
used
gonna
to work
do-
at Gearbox for a long time.
Okay.
Like
Not
a
a long time.
10-minute
Does anyone else
Yeah.
have any legal stuff they have to talk about?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
We're good
so
to
we
go.
can just... Yeah, why don't we just jump right into the fact that the Game Awards happened. PlayStation-wise, winners were pretty good for PlayStation. God of War was obviously crowned Game of the Year. It also won Best Direction and I believe Best Action Adventure. There were like 3 different action, adventure games. Spider-Man, unfortunately, didn't win anything. It got somewhat of a, like, in the beginning of the show, they're like, it was the most tweeted about Game of the Year, which seemed like an odd award to give at the beginning of the show.
Is that an award? I don't think it's an award.
I don't know if it was an award or they were
It
just
was.
saying, like,
I mean,
good
it was
job.
nominated for a lot. So
It was,
obviously
yeah.
voters liked that game, but just not enough to like give it the edge, I guess.
Yes, yeah. But obviously God of War, Game of the Year at the end. Last week, Brian and Max, we were talking about what we thought was the best PS4 exclusive of the year, and we were talking a lot between God of War and Spider-Man. Obviously, these awards came down on the side of God of War.
Yep.
But I think both 2 amazing games. Fortunately, one didn't get many wins.
If I had to give a Game Award for the best moment of the Game Awards,
Yeah.
it was definitely was it Christopher Judge and and Boy up
Sonny
on the stage.
Solich?
Yeah. Doing, read it, boy. That was a good moment.
You 3 were all there at the show, right? Mm-hmm. So how was it in the show itself?
I will
Like, how
say
was it
in the
being there?
room, people were very excited about Spider-Man. Like, if
Yeah.
it was possible to give a runner-up based on, like, applause,
Mm-hmm.
like, there was a lot of, noticeable energy. People just love clapping when they hear the word Spider-Man.
We'll give you all a chance to clap later as well. Look forward to that tease.
One of my favorite moments of the show was I told everyone on Twitter that Andrew Goldfarb had diarrhea.
How are you feeling, Andrew?
It's not true, but it was just funny to do that.
It was. Yeah, it was so funny. Everyone
You
loved
enjoyed it a lot, right?
I'm feeling great now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Stomach's okay?
Yeah. Thanks.
Perfect.
He actually got the award for most tweeted about diarrhea.
I would believe that. I feel like there were very few
Narrow
diarrheas being
margin,
tweeted
though,
about
yeah.
then. Moving on to the actual announcements at the show, though. One quick one I want to mention. It's not technically PlayStation related, but Andrew, you would not be on the show. It'd be remiss to have you on the show and not mention it. The fact that Joker from Persona 5 is going to be in Smash.
Yeah, which is like weirdly, vaguely PlayStation related
Yeah.
because obviously that game's a PS3 and 4 exclusive.
Yeah, I would say that's a PlayStation announcement that they stole a character from a PlayStation franchise
Yeah.
and put it on an inferior console.
Well, if they want to make Battle Royale 2, it's fine. Make PlayStation All-Stars 2, Joker can be in that.
I mean, they're making more of a PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale than Sony ever probably
Yeah,
will again,
they
right?
got
Oh,
HD
man.
Cloud out before Sony did.
Cloud, Snake. If there was one Sony character you could put in, who would it be?
Kazuma Kiryu,
Okay.
get him in Smash.
Yeah.
Thank you for the one other Yakuza game. Yeah.
Brian, what about you?
Probably Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
I know he's not actually a Sony character, but we all know he is.
He really is, yeah.
I mean, it's weird, right? Because obviously he has nothing to do with Nintendo, but I would love to see Parappa in there. Like, I would love to see like
Yeah.
a completely stylized Sony character join Nintendo characters.
I feel like also from this modern iteration of everyone, obviously like Kratos would be incredible, but like Aloy with the bow and
Yeah.
everything would be pretty cool. She could summon in a robot dinosaur.
Yeah, like versus Link, that would be really cool.
That'd be really cool, yeah. But moving on to more PlayStation-centric announcements, Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled was confirmed. I was sent a pair of fuzzy orange dice earlier in the week, which was clearly hinting at that. Orange dice, just like the purple egg for Spyro, are not really like the key image you think of with that game, but obviously that's what they
I
were
love how like
teasing
the
at.
dice, one of them was like it had just a 6 on it, and the other one like added up to 12, and we were like, clearly, this game is going to be released on June 21st next year, and they were queuing that it was going to be December 6th announcement. So
Well, no, it actually did add up to June 21st.
I think it was probably for December
You
6th.
think it was for... All right,
Given that they announced
all right,
that on
fine,
December
fine.
6th.
We actually don't know. Those dice could be for God of War, too.
They could be anything, yeah.
Really, there's no way of knowing.
We'll find out.
Multi-purpose.
The dice of Vivendi.
What did you all think of the trailer, though, and seeing the jump that it's making from how it
Well, I mean, I love that moment of comparing the old visuals to the new visuals. That was like that moment in the room when everyone was like, oh my god. I think that was a really cool comparison.
Yeah, I loved, as a huge Crash fan, obviously. I think it's interesting we've been having our wonderful producer, Barrett Courtney. He was playing a bit of the old game ahead of time just to, like, prep with all those rumors and everything. That game doesn't quite hold up in the same way that I think a lot of people would want it to, at least personally for me as a big CTR fan from back in the day. They will need to do a lot to modernize it and make it actually a fun, modern kart racer, especially with something like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's coming out day and date on Switch too, which is interesting.
Which is very cool.
Yeah.
The title's also kind of confusing.
What is the title? Like the full legal
The
title?
Nitro Kart.
Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. Or
Nitro-Fueled.
Nitro-Fueled. I don't think there's a real
Zero
there.
Dawn.
Yes. I mean, it made more sense to just call it Crash Team Racing Refueled, because there is Crash Team Racing Nitro Kart, which came after Crash Team Racing.
And that
I've said the
content
phrase
isn't
Crash
in
Team
this
Racing a
game?
lot of times right now.
I'm like physically tired from hearing
How
all
many
that.
times I've said Crash Team Racing? Well, then we can move on from Crash Team Racing. Also, it was kind of mentioned, I think, as an aside, or it was mentioned alongside it, but Jak and Daxter is getting a physical release. The original, they sort of re-released it and vaguely remastered it. It wasn't like a full proper, but it's coming to PS4 in a physical form, and I think they have this like really awesome special edition version you can get of it. Were you guys big Jak and Daxter fans at all? Did you play it much?
I really wasn't at the time. I mean, I've revisited it since, but that totally wasn't my franchise at the time. You're giving me a look. I'm sorry.
Tell us more.
Well, it all began. No, I like Jak and Daxter games. There's
Same.
actually, what is it? Just Daxter, which is the
He got the PSP
the
spin-off.
PSP spin-off.
Yeah.
One.
Was that the one that they released it on Vita and PS4 at the same time, or did I dream that?
The Daxter spin-off?
No, like the collection that this is.
Oh,
Is that-
well, they released Jak and Daxter 1 PS4 like remastered by itself.
Okay.
Like it was just, you could buy it as like a download randomly.
when did they announce? Was this a Game Awards announcement?
I think it was like announced alongside, so we're just grouping
They
it in.
just sent out a
kinda.
press release in the middle of like one of the
Yeah,
biggest
it was just
things.
kind of like right there.
outside of-
Yeah. You might as well get in on the
All
hype
right.
of it. Yeah, it makes sense. Moving on to a couple of the other things. Stranger Things 3, the game was announced. This was like vaguely announced for all platforms. They showed a quick trailer of it. It was sort of like the isometric viewpoint. 16-bit is what we're referring to it as. Sam Claiborne was very upset. He was like, it is more than 16-bit. I will not hear that. But there was that Stranger Things game that came out as a like mobile game, I think, a little bit back in the day that was like a mini game collection. Are you guys fans of Stranger Things? Do you want to see like a game experience alongside this new season? Like, does that interest you?
I mean, yeah, I think that like the Sam Claiborne's sort of onto something. Like the time period's all weird on this for the game because it looks like a late end high sort of like high end 16-bit game, but the show takes place like mid 80s ish. So that's like NES games didn't really look like that, and so
it kind of looks like it could be an arcade game from the time, but like I feel like if they had a bunch of like insert coin stuff at the top, it would sell that. But they don't even have like scan lines on it, so I feel like it falls very much in that category of like faux retro, you know. And I kind of wish that they were either doing something that was properly modern or something that felt more authentically old school. But at the same time, like we've gotten a bunch of games that sort of hit that Stranger Things vibe. Like we got Oxenfree and Crossing Souls, and I don't know, there's a handful of other games where it's like you're kids running around doing 80s stuff. What are the other ones? There's ones that...
It's a good genre.
Yeah. We got that leaked gameplay of the Telltale ones. So,
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, and we'll never see that
Yeah.
game, so this feels like the best interpretation of Stranger Things we're probably going to get in the game.
Well, especially if it's taking place concurrently with season 3. Like, I think that's kind of the interesting twist to it, is that it's going to have like plot elements from the third season, which I think is a really interesting approach for a game like that.
Well, and we got a teaser for Stranger Things season 3 like in the last 24 hours, but when that trailer came out, that was probably the most we've seen of Stranger Things season 3, which is a weird way to have that happen.
Do we do a rewind of that? Do we make like Scott Kalora pick through and be like, here's all the cues we got about Stranger Things 3 from
They'll
this?
punch enemies until they disappear in the third season.
It's all going to end at the Game Awards, which is weird because that's set 30 years in the future.
Goldfarb, a couple of years ago, we saw Netflix try their hand at a bunch of video games based on their shows, and they did them like in browser-based games, right?
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
they have like a really long, like, and it's funny because they clearly are interested in dipping their toes into interactive stuff. They right now, Minecraft Story Mode is just on Netflix playable.
Yeah,
the
you can
Telltale
play
game.
a Telltale game on Netflix.
And I think that they've clearly wanted to do something like that for a while.
Well, and the Duffer Brothers, They've talked, I think
Just
even
hard
IGN.
pause, staring longingly into each other. Yeah, great, thank you.
You guys can just do that for the rest of the show. It's fine. The Duffer Brothers have talked about the fact that they wanted to dip into games. Like that seems to be as of a big an interest to them as continuing the show itself. So I'm curious to see how much this will expand what we'll know about season 3, if it will just purely follow those episodes, or if it'll actually be something really big and interesting to look into. Beyond that, we also saw Far Cry New Dawn was officially revealed after the box art and name leaked earlier in the day. And then they also had put out a teaser right before it. So this is basically like, essentially, it seems like a sort of sequel to Far Cry 5, but it is not Far Cry 6.
I love how that game is, like, hasn't even been out like a whole year yet, and the guy came out and was like, so anyway, as we all know, Far Cry 5 ended with, and you're like, well, all right.
Yeah, that was a way to spoil that
dude.
game.
Hope you weren't planning on getting it for Christmas.
Well, we
Here's
didn't
the
get any
ending.
Game Awards nominations, so screw it. Here's the ending and the next one. Go nuts.
For anyone who was going to give it like Game of the Year consideration, then they put out a Game of the Year version. It's like, well, who cares at this point? But so New Dawn essentially takes place, I believe, 17 years after Far Cry 5. It looks kind of like Rage 2, what Rage 2 wants to be, in that it's like this post-apocalyptic sort of take on Far Cry, where also we got the Rage 2 release date at the Game Awards, which was a little bit of a weird like duo. But what did you guys both think of Far Cry 5 earlier this year, and are you excited for New Dawn?
I really enjoyed Far Cry 5, and I was a little apprehensive about this DLC until I started seeing like insane animals running around everywhere, and I was like, okay, I'll beat the hell out of those things.
Doesn't it also end on a shot, or at least partially in the trailer, with like a dog kind of like going like crazy in the
like in the
sidecar?
window of
He's
the
like,
car, yeah. That was the best shot in the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, my problem is they have that, the bad guy from Joseph Seed or whatever, for the villain from Far Cry 5 shows up again. And I was like, I thought that, like, I really love Far Cry when it's just having fun and being kind of insane, and it seems like this is definitely going in that direction more than the sort of more serious notes of 5. I saw Drew Holmes, who was a writer on Saints Row the Third and Bioshock Infinite and Far Cry 5. We're seeing a pattern here. I think he has a more direct role in developing this, and I'm curious to see how much kind of like Saints Row and Bioshock Infinite there is in this, because it's got a little more liberty to kind of go nuts and have, saw blade guns and stuff like that.
Being the like mid-year release, obviously like Far Cry Primal was a huge departure, and with New Dawn they can probably take some more liberties than they could otherwise. But it's interesting to see. Also, I saw him tweet, he was like, the next chapter is revealed, and so I wonder if they want to really keep this version of Far Cry going beyond Far Cry.
That's why it
5
was
and New
interesting
Dawn.
to see them tease the villain returning, because this does seem like more so than Primal or even like a Blood Dragon or something that's kind of standalone. Like this does seem to be tying in directly to the events of Far Cry 5. It was also, I was saying this to Zach Ryan, who we work with, who said it looked like Annihilation, which was also my first thought, and seeing like all the colorful like flowers, and like it's very vibrant in a way that Rage kind of seems to be, but not quite. And I think beating it by 3 months will be really interesting.
It looks like it's having a lot of fun, which I think like is the cool thing about them getting their, sort of more proposed serious story out of the way earlier in the year, and then now being like, well, we built this playground, like let's just go insane with it.
Let's go crazy.
The tone of the trailer seems to be like, hey, like everyone's sort of being like, oh, are we all about survival? And it's like, no, we're kind of just like living,
Yeah.
Like once you're sort of past that point, it's like, go nuts, have fun, drive monster
Yeah,
trucks.
I like that it's not the first year after the apocalypse and see what happens, because we've seen that scenario enough. I'm very curious to see what happens there. A few other announcements just to go quickly through. There was a really cool Psychonauts 2 trailer. We finally saw like what that game's actually going to be about, which is really exciting. There was a tease for the next Dragon Age. We don't really know what it will be.
Who in the audience knew what that meant? Did that make any sense to
Dreadwolf
people?
Rises. Did people know? I
Any
saw one hand.
clues? Any hints? No? It reminded me a lot of the Skyrim teaser that we got back at the Game Awards in like 2010, I guess, where they were like, it was just dramatic music and like a slow pan over a mural. And you're like, oh, if you're into this, you get it. And if you're not, then you're like, what are people shouting about?
You'll find out in 2
Yeah.
years.
It
And
kind of reminded me of the Sekiro teaser last year, in
Yeah.
that like it didn't end with Dragon Age 4, even though it was very obviously a Dragon Age thing. I thought it was interesting that they left that open.
Yeah, and then of course we also got the huge Mortal Kombat 11 reveal, which was they kind of teased us and were saying they were going to the best sports award, and then it actually became Mortal Kombat 11.
That was the
I
best.
really
Yeah, that
like
was
that bait
wonderful.
and switch, by the way, because
Yeah.
that was like if John Madden came out and was like, here's the best Mortal Kombat character.
It was just a new Madden. We'll see. I think what's crazy about that game is that it's going to be day and date with PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Yep.
I think that's huge. We'll see how that game performs. Obviously, Mortal Kombat is always big on IGN. I'm curious, before we move on, what were you all three most excited about?
I was excited about talking about Mortal Kombat 11, but you just steamrolled past it.
Go ahead. That's why I'm giving time
I really
back.
liked it. They had like a, Scorpion came out and he did his usual Scorpion shit. And then, they had like movie version of Scorpion came out. And I was like, I love that terrible film. I watch it more often than I should.
I believe it.
Regularly. I think you've been over at my house when I've been watching
of course.
it. And just drinking and shouting at the wall. It's
Your
great.
TV's actually stuck to only play that movie.
Yeah, but it's a Mortal Kombat edition TV. It's great, but no, like that, and so like they brought Scorpion out in that outfit, and I was like, they've been doing a lot of stuff with kind of different outfits. They've been really good about throwing in like a bunch of random movie characters, and I kind of love that this has become sort of almost like the M-rated Smash Brothers, in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah.
So I'm super down to see what they're doing, especially after all the stuff that like they built up with the last Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat 10. So.
Absolutely. And Brian, what about you?
I agree with everything Max just said.
Thanks, Brian.
It's cool. It's cool to see parts of a man's spine I didn't know could explode.
Probably going to see a lot more of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of just like really deep zooms into like a guy's brain and it just explodes, or like a guy's hand and it explodes. It's really cool to see different parts of the human body just explode.
Yeah. Andrew, what did you enjoy seeing explode?
All those body parts, it was a little weird in the room
diarrhea?
because like everybody was just exactly during the diarrhea. Thanks, Jonathan.
I'm sorry.
It was weird because like everyone in the room was like cheering every time like a bone broke or like blood splattered.
Yeah.
It like felt a little like kind of like
I don't know what to do in those situations, because what are you supposed to do? Just get up and throw up? Like, what are your options? You either yell or you go, oh, it's disgusting, and you walk out, or you just throw up all over the theater.
I don't know.
Jeff
like,
Keighley hates when that happens.
Totally
so.
appeals to me on like that inner fifth grader level.
Throwing up in front of a whole theater?
Hell yeah, reminds me of my recital. It's great.
What'd you say?
Your wedding recital? That was 2 months ago.
It's a wedding recital. No, like I don't know. Like Mortal Kombat is so like we were walking out of there and you were like, yeah, it was kind of weird, but then you were like, it's weird how it's the most ultra-violent but still sort of family-friendly gets a pass kind of thing, and like it's so like it's got like a legacy M rating. Mm-hmm. Like Mortal Kombat has had moms pissed off and has been M rated since before M ratings were a thing. Back when it was like MA17. Like it was in Time magazine for being too violent. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like Doom turns 25 today. Hi, Jared. You want to cheer for Doom? There we go.
Thank you, Jared.
I feel like Doom and Mortal Kombat are very much in that same boat where it's just like, what happened? Like video games sort of had their first like pubescent growth spurt there, being like, oh God, this is so violent. What's wrong with you? Why are you yelling at your stepfather like that? And that's Mortal Kombat. And have Ed Boon come out, and he's now this sort of like lovely, like avuncular character who's like, hey everybody, I'm here to the sports and racing. And then like a screaming yellow skeleton shows up to kill a man several different times. Is great. It's juvenile.
He is like a very calm man for the amount of shit that goes on in his game.
Right?
Yeah.
You know?
He voices Scorpion too.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, in the movie,
wow.
he voices Scorpion. He is the original voice of "Get over here," and you're like, that voice comes out of that man?
Wow.
Yeah.
He's very calm.
He looks like Eugene Levy on Quaaludes.
All right.
I don't know where to go from Eugene Levy. For me, it was probably, other than Crash Team Racing, definitely the Joker reveal. Who I imagine wasn't as excited about the Joker reveal, though, was Greg Miller, because he has never completed Persona 5. What he has completed, though, is the first Kind of Funny showcase. That was quite the walk, I know.
That's right.
I appreciate that.
I respect that.
Before we moved on from all the big, crazy news of this week, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Kind of Funny showcase announcements. The first that I want to go to, Max. Project Judge now has a name.
Yes.
Judgment.
Yeah.
Quite the departure.
So this is the Yakuza team's next IP.
Yeah.
They kind of closed the story with the Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. It's a new thing, and you can jump in there, and it looks like sort of like a 3D HD kind of Phoenix Wright scenario, except you could beat the crap out of people. It's a beat 'em up where you're like a cool lawyer, I think. They put out 2 trailers a while ago, and one of them was like a bunch of people in like law offices yelling at each other, and then the other one had a guy doing like a kickflip off a skateboard to punch a guy out of a car. So I'm like, what is this game about? I don't care. I'm in. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
It's actually how they resolve most crimes in Japan.
They don't have crimes in Japan.
That's true. Trick
Yeah.
question.
It's a science fiction game.
You're paying attention.
That's coming out summer 2019. Max, I assume you're pretty excited to see a bit more of this. We did get a new trailer, but this seems pretty much right up your alley.
Yeah.
I think one of probably the biggest surprise of the showcase, though, was that we have a release date for the 3rd episode of The Walking Dead's final season. Mm-hmm. Obviously, with Telltale Games shuttering, the continuation of that final season was up in the air. Skybound Games then announced that they were looking to continue it, and they've announced that the 3rd episode will be coming out in January. How do you all feel about this continuing? Because they initially had said they were trying to look for some members of the original team to be on board, but...
Well, and that was the cool thing in that moment, was that they're working out of the same office space with, I think they said 40 of the original developers. Like, I'm happy that they were able to get that much of the team back together, at least.
Yeah.
I was also kind of curious to see what it would look like, but it totally just looks like Telltale.
It looks
Walking
like
Dead.
what we
It doesn't
would
look
expect.
dramatically different or anything.
Yeah.
What if they just went with a totally different art style from the last season? It's all clip art. They're like, it's done, so now you know what happens.
It's a moving like comic book, basically.
Yeah, I think it's been just long enough that had they announced this like the day after, people would have been really pissed, and justifiably, because there was a lot of very like sort of serious situations going on there where people were worried about healthcare and benefits and just trying to like not get pulled away from the work that they were working on, because that all happened so quickly. So I think that like they're reaching a good resolution for everybody. And shout out to Greg Miller and Kinda Funny for getting that story out there. And in general, also, like, quick shout out to those guys. And many of us here, we're huge fans and huge supporters and proponents of indie games. And I think it's really cool that they built a platform that allowed a bunch of people to take smaller, more personal passion projects and put them into something that was shaped like an E3 or PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox press conference. So that's really cool.
Tiny. Yeah. There were games made by one person that were on there.
There was the one game, I forget, I think Adam's Ascending or something something like that, where it was just one person. He did like a live action trailer for his game.
It was cool though.
Yeah, the fact that like that was in there and they were able to show off 69 games in total.
Nice. But like that game was there juxtaposed with Anthem. You know, like Mike Gamble came on and talked about Anthem. Like it did. Like, you're totally right. Like it felt like an event, and I think that was a really cool way for those developers to get exposure right next to, like Telltale and Funcom and other bigger developers.
I think it's like what we always say about like the PlayStation Store and the Xbox Marketplace and the eShop, is it does this really good thing that a lot of retail stores can't really do, but it'll take an indie game and make a rectangle out of it and put it right next to God of War or Horizon. And to a consumer, they walk in and they're just like, oh, this is, Inside, or this is Guacamelee 2, and they're just as big in front of me as some AAA game that had 150 people working on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's awesome.
Mike Bithell released his new game right after announcing it during the showcase, and it was very funny because he tweeted out the eShop, and he was like, we are now the #1 most recent game on the Nintendo Switch. Take that, Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
But it's great to see so many games be able to show up in that conference, and then everything from like, I think one that was a big favorite around the office for a lot of people, The Messenger, is getting new free DLC, which we saw, which is rad. I love that game so much.
Is it called like Picnic Day or something?
I think it's like Picnic Party or something like that.
That seems like an odd departure from like fighting ravens and stuff or whatever you fought in that.
There's a lot of
cool
ravens
picnic.
at picnics. They love all that picnic food.
If you leave that food out
Sounds
by
like
itself.
a picnic gone horribly awry. One game that caught my eye was Moving, which is just a game about moving.
Right.
Which seems like kind of in the same vein as Overcooked, and it's like, I don't know how many times you've moved, but that seems both like a great game idea and also like that game sucks.
Yeah, it's from the same team that worked on what is it, Death Squared?
Oh, wonderful.
So,
Yeah, which is like just a really awesome sort of puzzle platforming game.
No, I love that idea.
Yeah,
there were a lot of really cool ones. Jenny LeClue was on there, which I think looks really fun.
Yeah.
Back to back like that, it is crazy to just take a moment and be like, oh, like you can make a game about literally anything now, and it doesn't matter if you're one person working out of a garage or a team of 50 people. Like I think it's really cool seeing that kind of diversity and that passion that like it is still possible to just kind of make it.
I feel like you could do that at the beginning of video games, and you could do that now, and then there was like 30 years in the middle where you couldn't do that. Like at the beginning, you could be like, it's a pizza, but he's yellow and he eats ghosts. And they're like, all right, that's great.
That works.
And there's 30 years where you couldn't do that. And now they're like, he's a pizza and he's yellow and he eats ghosts. And they're like, that's indie game of the year.
I mean, the fact that like tools and everything are so democratized now that anyone can get a free development kit or something, or even buy like $100 kit, and anyone can just make their games.
We talk a lot about people, one person who's made a game, but how long before we play a game that was made by nobody at all?
Probably pretty soon, I would
Like,
imagine.
just
There has
completely
to be an
AI
only
design
game.
one, yeah.
I mean, like Ubisoft's doing crazy stuff where like computers can completely face map what a character is going to look and talk like during any scene. So they could probably make a game in like a year just from AI.
Yeah, let's be like, Alexa, make a video game, and it's just done.
Yeah. Perfect. She can do everything else, so I believe in her. Other than that, just going on to, for me, and I would be remiss if I didn't shout it out for Tom Marks. Celeste is getting a physical release, and Celeste, I think one of our favorite games on IGN of the year. Obviously, Tom gave it a 10. That will be in physical form too, and that is just such an awesome, loving game. And Matt makes games, Matt Thorson, who also did Towerfall and everything. It's great to see. I think Towerfall was one of my favorite games when it came out, and to see this game now also receive so much acclaim is awesome. And I'm really glad it's getting this like new life again in physical form. But anything else from you guys that stuck out from the showcase?
What is it? Minico's Night Market, I think it's called,
Yeah.
where everybody turns into a cat, and it's very cute, and that game looks amazing.
That doesn't sound cute at all. That sounds terrifying.
Sorry,
You guys just
very cute.
Fix it.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, there was obviously so many other games shown at the Kind of Funny showcase. Those are just a few of the things that piqued our interest the most. Again, huge congrats to those guys for putting on one heck of an awesome show, and can't wait to see what the Showcase 2 looks like next year. We are going to take a quick break. Andrew, you will be departing and leaving us.
Bye,
You'll still be
everybody.
alive, but you'll be off the show. In a
I'm not
second,
gonna die. I'm just
we'll
gonna
be
be
right
back
back.
there.
Yeah, you'll still
We're
be
having
alive.
Andrew put to sleep. I'm sorry.
This is a
admit.
rough way to break it,
Fair.
everyone. And we'll be
You
right
want it
back.
to be a cat.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
It's that time of year to grab your hammer busters and roasters because Borderlands 2 VR is almost here in all of its shooter-looter glory on PlayStation VR. Thanks to Borderlands 2 VR and PlayStation VR, this week we're giving away a code for Borderlands 2 VR and a Funko Pop Zero action figure. All you have to do to enter is fill out the form in the link on the screen here or in the video description, where you'll also find official rules for the giveaway. Good luck!
And now we are joined by, excuse me, I'm just going right to your name, by Brian Burleson of Gearbox, and we're going to talk about Borderlands 2 VR.
How's it going, man?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
So for those of you
today.
who are here physically in our very presence, we have a bunch of Borderlands 2 VR stations set up so you can actually try it out for yourself, which I highly recommend because that's how VR works. You have to put the thing on your head. I'm sorry if that's scary for you. That's part of the experience. Yeah, Brian, can you tell us a bit about how this came about? Like, how did Borderlands come to VR?
Oh, geez. So, you know, we were doing a lot of experimenting. We have a team that does a bunch of innovative, neat little projects, and we were doing a Penn and Teller project, and we were exploring other things we could do in VR. And so in part of the discussion, Borderlands came up, and so what can we do in the Borderlands franchise? And so we had a bunch of really cool ideas, but at the end of the day, one of the programmers had messed around with getting it working in VR, and once we put that on, we were just like, yeah, we gotta do this. And so that's basically how it started.
So obviously, like, Borderlands has like huge fan base. You got cosplayers out there doing all the panel lines on themselves and everything, and people are waiting around with bated breath for maybe another numbered installation in the series. But like, what's that like for the Borderlands Legacy?
Well, contributing to it's great because one of the things about Borderlands 2 VR is you get really immersed in the universe again, and that is something that the game came out 6 years ago, and so getting people back into the universe and really understanding the storyline in Borderlands 2 is one of the things we really wanted to make sure was as strong as it could be in VR.
So obviously with VR, like, I think there's a misconception that when people when they hear VR is working out, there's like,
Oh, no, they were laughing. I think it up.
Oh,
Go ahead, you're good.
oh, what happened? I don't know what happened. No, I was going to say, like, obviously there's this thing where when VR first came out and everyone's like, you're like, you just assume that first person automatically translates and jumps over there. And you're like, oh, what's my favorite game in first person? How would that translate to VR? And like, in some cases, that might make you hurl. And you guys have made some tweaks to Borderlands to make it work better in VR. Can you talk about like adapting the first person, run and gun experience to something that maybe you got to pump the brakes a tiny bit?
Well, the thing about VR, because a long time ago when they started touring the different headsets and trying to understand like what the potential of VR could be, we had a bunch of the companies come by and we were thinking, man, this is great for first-person shooters because being able to just aim and point at something is so much more interesting than just having a controller to do it. And you can imagine, because some of the demos they had were really cool because you could like duck behind things and get really engaged in the combat. And that type of movement was a place you could innovate. Because we've been making first-person shooters for a long 25 years. And being able to have another opportunity to actually contribute differently for first-person shooters was a challenge we wanted to tackle. And but there's complications to that. VR is very once you're immersed in it, you can get all kinds of different desires to play different ways. Some people really want to be like, they want to shoot and whack things and be really involved. Some people just want to sit there and play. And so in this, we put a lot of different control schemes, a lot of movement schemes, a lot of the comfort settings to make sure that you can play this for a very long time without having any type of issues. And so we saw a lot of people who went before us, and we said, those were good ideas. And we just gobbled them up and put them in there.
One of my favorite things about VR is less so like the crazy action stuff, because that sort of works on a per game basis, but that it takes a lot of very simple, sometimes even mundane things and makes them incredibly interesting. Like one of my favorite things in Batman VR was like picking up a clipboard and just holding it and being like, I'm holding a clipboard. But for any other video game, I'm like, I'm holding a clipboard. I want to go like shoot my Batarang. Were there any moments in the development of Borderlands VR where you're kind of like, I'm doing something that's like not the most interesting thing in the world, but it's like really fun and really interesting now all of a sudden?
Oh, hell yeah. There's so Borderlands is a game about guns. And so in the game, you can pick up any of those guns that you find on the ground and actually check it out and look at it. And sometimes like turning it around and seeing the backside of it, because you really can't see the backside when you're playing it normally.
Right.
And so the artists put a lot of effort into parts of the guns you just don't really see. And that was really kind of fun to be able to pick up a gun and turn it around and actually see how it all works together. So that was one of those moments of just holding a gun was really rewarding.
And just like analyzing it from different angles.
Yeah.
You guys, when you were first marketing was it the original Borderlands where you came up with a fake number for the amount of guns?
Like bajillion?
11 bajillion or something like that?
Yeah.
So you can do that with all 11 bajillion guns, you
pick
can
up
rotate
every
them.
single gun, and everyone's pretty much different, so you're going to find something new.
That's awesome.
Now, obviously, if somebody's standing there and they're like, staring at their gun and looking at it, like that's probably a pretty good way to just get like mauled by a bunch of monsters and stuff.
Yeah, that's a great way.
How do you guys sort of approach the, the difficulty, in VR of maybe being overwhelmed by things that are much larger than you kind of quickly? You've got like a new system in there, yeah?
Yeah, we have, we were playing around with ways to deal with melee enemies and seeing some interesting opportunities to make that more exciting. And so we added this mode called Badass Mega Fun Time, BAMF mode. And what it does is it slows down time. And when you trigger it, you can go walk up to a bandit and just shoot them if you want. Or, it blows them back at the same time, too. So you get this really like cool like action moment of everything flying backwards. And so if you're fighting bullymons or psychos, it really feels really cool to do that. And for some of the bosses, it actually really gives you an opportunity to aim at certain parts of them. So it adds to the gameplay at the same time as a functional way to play the game.
And sorry, you go ahead.
I was going to say, like, how did you guys hit that? Did you have like a period where it was when you were kind of just experimenting and testing things out where people would just get their asses kicked and you had to sort of like figure out how to slow things down? Or?
A little bit. It was actually one of the designers that just had the idea and just put it in one day, and it was just like, oh yeah, that's good. Because when you really start developing this, you see opportunities that can actually improve and make things more interesting for VR. And so part of the development cycle was trying to see what was really fun and finding experimental ways to kind of make it more of a Borderlands experience in VR.
And I was just going to ask, the BAMF time, that's integrated into like the skill tree system that's already in place?
It is.
How's that work?
So there's a lot of different parts of the skill tree that we need to swap out. And so when, there's different ways you can modify BAMF time. And each of the characters has variations of it that help with what their character profile is like. So that makes it kind of like you're going to explore the skill tree again. And that's going to be fun, depending on which character you like to play as.
What was it like developing for PSVR as a platform in general? Were you guys able to sort of just like translate your vision immediately to the platform? Were there anything that was sort of like a hurdle or something that worked instantly?
The platform has a lot of interesting optimizations that make it easier to work with. They've put a lot into making it feel very comfortable and really making it very lightweight in all kinds of different ways that just make it an experience you can spend a lot of time in. Borderlands is a very big game. It's probably one of the bigger games that exists in VR. And so being able to spend a lot of time in Pandora and the Borderlands universe, you really want to have some really good hardware that lets you experience it for a very long time. And so we were very excited to work with them on that.
It's a very comfortable headset. I will
very
say that.
much
Like,
It's a nice hat.
Yeah.
It's a good hat to wear.
Oh God.
Now I got to ask you this. Are we going to see any more adventures on Pandora in VR?
Yeah, that's something we're talking about. There's a lot of Borderlands content that we can play with. So And the team is really excited to just keep innovating on new, interesting things. So, yeah.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much for dropping by and chatting Borderlands with us.
Thanks for having me.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Brad.
Thanks, man.
You want to rustle papers for a little bit? Yeah.
Or we
think
just
we
sit in
should
the utter
do- can I
silence.
do one?
Do you need an extra paper?
I was going to kind of set this up so, Jeff Keighley comes out, he's got a lot of cool announcements, and, Greg Miller comes out and has a lot of cool announcements. Do we have any cool announcements?
Oh, we might have a cool announcement coming up, I think, on this show.
Yeah?
I think,
God of War 2?
yeah, we're
Yeah.
finally announcing
We've
God
got
of
the
War
reveal
2.
trailer for God of War kart racing. The cart is made of wood, it is very slow.
Cart of War?
The boy has to pull it.
I would play that.
Yeah?
That'd
Yeah.
be pretty fun.
I think it'd be horribly depressing. Let's get Corey on the phone, though. I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
He'll accept
No,
our pitches.
we do-
Yeah, so we're going to bring onto the show Lucy O'Brien, who you may know.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Hi, Lucy.
I live in America now.
You do.
You
Welcome
do.
to America.
Thank
you picked
you.
a great time to come
You are
here.
now the executive features editor at IGN.
I am. I know. I'm just getting so much fatter. Just the food here is incredible.
Did you
I
say
didn't know-
fatter?
I'm getting so much fatter.
Oh, I thought you said feta, like the
I thought-
cheese.
I
I'm like,
thought
we have a
cheese
lot of
too.
that
I was
here.
like,
you
too.
guys were all nodding like, yeah,
like, yeah, we got
feta,
great cheese in
definitely.
America.
That makes a lot of
Okay,
sense.
They give you like the complimentary feta when you land in America to move here for the first time.
I do
10
actually
pounds.
have like a bag of like four Mexican like
What? Do you wanna
blend
finish this sentence?
cheeses that isn't currently in my fridge, and
What?
I just like
Did you just panic and not know what to buy at the store, and you were
I
just like, I'll
panicked.
just get the cheese pillow. This is good.
this giant cheese the
You
cheese
bought
pillow-
the Mexican cheese pillow when you got here?
Yeah, it's I've been eating like a sort of feral animal, just out of the fridge. I think I put on like several pounds. It's great.
Huh?
Yeah,
I can hear our national anthem playing through your refrigerator.
And it's all thanks to that American treat, the Mexican four-blend cheese pillow. Everyone's favorite.
Well, Lucy, you've done such a tremendous job on the show in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We would really like you to become the 4th official member of Beyond. Would you like to be an
I
official
would
member
love
of
to
Beyond?
be the 4th official member of Beyond.
Thank
Beyond.
you so much. Beyond. Lucy is now officially part of the show. When I heard you were coming to the office, the first thing I thought was congratulations, and the second was I want you to be on Beyond all the time. So
Yeah, you actually messaged me like
very quickly. Yeah.
It's like the announcement sort of happened, and then you were like,
By
hey.
the way, yeah. Well, I checked with Andrew. I'm like, Andrew, is this bad of me to do too quickly? He's like, probably, but still do it. So yeah, I'm very happy that you're here. Very happy you're joining us.
Well, I am the older, more gay Alana, so.
And that's what we put on the call sheet. Yeah, that's what we were looking for in the audition. So thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And we thought there was no better way to welcome you to the show than to have a very serious discussion and do, as Max coined the term, Beyond's Best of the Rest Game Awards 2018. First annual Beyondies, whatever.
Are we
you
doing
wanna
some
call
awards?
them. Yeah,
The
we're gonna do
first
some
annual
awards.
Beyonces.
Beyonce.
That's what
yeah.
we're calling them until they sue us and we have to stop calling them that.
They're going to sue us like tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna happen real
We're
quick.
gonna get it.
We're going to court like tomorrow. This is
Yeah.
going to be bad.
So we thought, obviously, the Game Awards just came out there,
Is this
gave
someone's
out their
paper?
awards.
What? Yeah, that's your paper. You get that for
Okay.
joining the show.
Feel
That's
Great.
forever.
You can
Yeah.
keep
You
it.
get that in the cheese, so this is a good year for you.
I'm doing great.
Everything's turning
You
up
can put
Lucy.
the cheese in the paper and make a really crappy quesadilla.
Yep.
Use a hotel iron to do it. It's great. Yeah. The office paper and 4-cheese Mexican blend. Anyway, carry on.
So we're giving out awards. Obviously, IGN will be giving out its end-of-year awards that you can look forward to later this year, which Lucy has been playing a huge part
Our
in.
real awards
the
that
real
people-
awards.
Real
People worked
Yeah.
really hard on, and just to let everyone know, that's not what we're going to do right now.
No, these we have not worked
Yeah.
hard on at all.
This is going to be dumb.
This is going to be good. We're also going to, as I mentioned before, you're going to have a chance to clap. We're going to have this partially decided by audience vote to see who wins each of these awards. Let's just go to the first one right away. Best leak.
Ooh, the best leak.
The
Now,
best
this has
leak
been
of
a
2018.
this is a tough category because there were a lot of leaks, so we had to just narrow it down to a few.
To
that-
6.
Yeah, to 6 of the leaks from 2018.
Now, this is not necessarily the biggest leak,
No.
Is it the most exciting, like the ones, or just like the
Or
best
I
overall?
think the best
the most-
form of leak. The
yeah,
most
like the
interesting
most
leak.
absurd form
Yes.
of leak.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
good one. Because like every year, there's like one game that gets leaked by somebody who's like reading about it on an iPad Pro on a plane. He's like, I hope no one finds out about this. Like 6 kids are like, hey, they're making a new thing.
Someone on the subway was like, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is coming out next year, and it just happened. Anyway, the nominees for this award are Assassin's Creed Odyssey revealed accidentally by a keychain.
It's always the tiniest secrets, right?
Devil
Do we
May-
have a picture
Yeah,
of
we
the
do have
keychain?
the Devil
Yeah.
May Cry 5 revealed accidentally by a trademark. Pretty standard.
That happens all the time.
That's okay. That's different than a keychain.
Yeah. The
A
next
keychain
two,
is just so fundamentally stupid.
It is. It's real bad. The next two revealed accidentally by our good friends Walmart Canada. Rage 2 and Just Cause 4 were both revealed on that giant leak of games.
Yeah, biggest snitches in the industry, Walmart Canada.
Honestly, that's my go-to spot for exclusive game reveals. I go there all the
Walmart
time.
Canada.
Don't. If you ever have a secret, do not tell them. They will tell everybody.
They're doing the second annual Walmart Canada showcase earlier this
Right.
year.
Yeah.
Harry Potter, as Max put it, revealed by just some dude on Reddit. There was just a guy who leaked all that info in that video. It was like Vape Man 69 was like, hey, by the way, like that was
Second
legitimately-
biggest snitch in the industry.
Yeah.
Vape Man
we've got,
69.
They accidentally revealed like a minute of an alleged Harry Potter RPG.
I don't think it was an accident.
Probably not.
If you see Vape Man 69 walking into a Walmart Canada to buy a keychain,
Something big
4
is
games
happening.
are getting leaked.
And then Spyro Reignited Trilogy was revealed shortly before it came out as an announcement from Amazon Mexico. So all
Another
of these,
snitch.
what do you think is the most interesting of these leaks?
The keychain.
The keychain. The
Yeah,
keychain
for
is
sure.
so dumb.
Well, because
It's
like
so
Harry
great.
Potter?
No, the Harry Potter.
No, I mean the keychain is like hundreds of people work on these games
but,
globally,
okay,
and
right.
they're like it's all a secret. One guy's like, "Oh, I dropped my keys." And like, "Oh no!"
Right, but this is like the Assassin's Creed franchise has a wonderful and like storied legacy of leaks from all sorts of weird promotional accoutrements.
Which is weird because it's about hiding.
Yeah. But there's a lot of collectibles in those games, so when they
That is
reveal the
true.
secrets via
Yeah.
the collectibles, I think it's a good fit.
I think we have to ask the room.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we'll ask the room. So let's go. Obviously, I think the big two contenders are AC and Harry Potter. So can I hear a round of applause for if Assassin's Creed Odyssey is the most interesting leak of 2018? Cheers from Jared.
It's a keychain.
And then please applaud if you think Vape Man 69's revealed Harry Potter.
Oh, that's a tough one to not applaud. Okay, yeah, that's. I think they're applauding his name.
They're just applauding
Probably.
his name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
AC Odyssey won that one. Congrats.
Okay,
to
okay, no.
Vape,
So-
Man,
so-
Vape Man won, undoubtedly.
Right. So as far as leaks go,
Yes.
I just want to point out
Yeah.
AC Odyssey.
Yes.
You've played it, yeah?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
because it came
Yeah.
out.
There
yeah?
are no
What
keychains I've collected.
What is that Harry Potter game?
Oh, I have no
We have
idea.
no idea what that game is.
yeah,
Vape Man
as a-
69 is playing at his house right now.
Well, it's better than him doing the other things in his name.
Yes.
I'll let you do the math
We'll
on that.
say it's a tie with Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Harry Potter, then. Congratulations to you both. Moving on, biggest mouthful of 2018.
Vape Man 69.
Max, since you put these names down, I'm going to let you read them.
Oh,
If you,
crap.
yep, you get the
Okay.
honor of reading these.
These are all real games.
These
were
are
all
real game
available-
titles that
Oh
are.
my
Available
God.
on PlayStation platforms. Number 1, Under Night In Birth EXE : late, and then in brackets, so latest.
What? Wait, what?
Read it.
It's
I don't understand
it's
it.
like
That's
street,
the first.
but like
that was the first entry. That was the first title.
Under Night in Birth EXE exclamation. Is that late? It's just
late.
latest.
Oh,
But why do they put
late-
that? Well, I know I get the word.
You'll
but
have
why
to
do they
play
put
to
the end
find
of it?
All right.
It's more memorable than latest.
Number 2, Atelier Lighty in Suella, The Alchemists and the Mysterious Paintings. That's a real game that came out.
Did you say that right? Here's the thing. If we have to debate that, it's not a good name.
East 7, Lacrimosa of Dana. Is it East?
East 8.
8. So,
Come on, Max. Get it right.
This is hard titles, or Max doesn't know Roman numerals.
you want to play like a weird rock band blitz, just put this on a teleprompter and make me read it fast. That'll be. And then there's The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 2, Kai, that has 2 colons in it.
My favorite.
That's like a human centipede movie. That's not.
This one is my favorite because Kai just seems to be sort of forgotten. Like at the end, it's like Kai.
Okay.
That's like a Japanese thing that I should know, and I forget what it means. It means like Earth or something.
Cobra Kai?
I don't know.
You know what else has 2 colons in it? Vape Man 69.
And then finally, Steins Gate, which I still want to give a shout out for having a semicolon in the middle of it, which is the opposite of 2 colons. It's half of one. Regular colon, linear bounded phenogram.
Phenogram.
Is that a medical procedure?
I don't know.
I think it's got to be
So if we-
Atelier, Lydian, Swell, The Alchemist, and the Mysterious Paintings. That's so much. It's so much
Is there
title.
a runner-up that we feel on the panel before I throw it to the crowd?
Do you have to read all? You have to read all.
I'm
this
not
again.
gonna. I'm just gonna narrow.
This is
it
going to
down
be the
two.
weirdest thing anyone has ever clapped for.
I think it's a tie between the Legend of Heroes and the in birth night X later.
I think that
Later,
a bunch
Steve.
of us are debating how to say latest. Is definitely that puts it in
That's
the
a
top.
high.
No, it's late.
Latest.
So let's go between under night, in birth, exe, late.
Just say 1 or 4 or whatever.
And clap for that one if you think that was the
Clap if
biggest
you think that.
And that. Otherwise, please clap for Max. You want to read number 2?
No, I don't want to. It's hard.
Atelier, Leidy, and Swelly, The Alchemists and the Mysterious Paintings. Please
It's
clap.
not swelly.
I think it's funnier if I say Swelly.
What is it? Soul?
I think it's
it's
just
think it's
swell.
like
I
it's
think
French,
it's
like
under
it's
night.
soul.
Oh, you read the title then before they clap.
I would say it's Atelier, Lydie, and Soul, The Alchemist and the Mysterious Paintings.
Oh wow, you went right
Oh, yeah.
back to English at the end.
I
we're
gave
gonna
up,
give
it was
that
too hard.
to late as the biggest mouthful of
Is that what's
2018.
winning?
I think that got a lot of
I guess you
applause.
could say it was the great title of this.
We should send them a trophy that just has like
Just
a
gets
plaque
off
that
the
just keeps going on the bottom. You know, it's very funny that like 2 of the best selling games on PlayStation this year were Spider-Man and God of War. Like incredibly simple. There's no debates on how to say those things. Although we don't know what it's like when there's more than one Spider-Man. Is it Spider-Man or Man?
Spiders, man.
Perfect. yeah.
Number 3 award, most pissed off fan base. Max. you
Oh
wanna-
boy.
Oh boy, this was a doozy.
Yeah.
Why'd you do this?
Max did it.
Max.
You all had access to the doc, man. You could have changed this. Anyway, all right, so the nominees for the most pissed off fan base of franchises in 2018 are Fallout,
Okay.
Diablo, Battlefield, and Metal Gear.
I mean,
Oh,
all
man.
of these fan bases have a real right to be pissed off.
Yes, they do.
All of them have very good
Yes.
reasons.
Yeah, I think
who
this
was
should
the
be the most
Who
just.
has the best reason to be as angry as they are? Because obviously we want to reward the ones who are the angriest.
So that should be the most
So they're not mad at
justifiably,
us.
Most
the most
justifiably
justifiably pissed
pissed
off
off.
fan base.
Most
man.
justifiably.
I would say possibly Fallout.
You know what's weird is that this list
Thanks
is
for
split.
copy editing that on the road. That was great. I'm glad we didn't announce the name of the award.
That's fine.
This list is kind of split between people who got a brand new game and didn't like it, and people who did not get a new game at all. Like we got a new Metal Gear, sort of, and we got a new Diablo. If you have a phone, which apparently
probably
many
do.
people did, but only used to get really angry on,
I honestly-
justifiably.
I honestly believe that most people have forgotten that Metal Gear Survive came out this year. and
I
they've-
genuinely
like everyone's
do,
just
yeah.
moved on.
You just gave away our game of the year at IGN. It's not true.
Sorry,
We would
guys.
never do
So I
that.
think probably Fallout seems to be the clear winner for us. Is there a runner-up?
That's I think
From
that's
justifiably.
I think that one just kept getting, like, it kept going further sort of off the rails where they're like, hey, man, I just found out this canvas bag I paid $200 for
Well,
is nylon.
the extra wrinkle to that was
And they were like,
oh.
yeah, sorry, we meant to make the bag out of suck it, losers.
And then they called up customer service and they're like, hey, can you get me a better bag? And they're like, yeah, sure, but we have to dox you to do it.
Yeah.
That just kept getting worse. And then you play the game and like your leg is stuck in the wall the whole time.
Yeah.
I gotta say Fallout.
Your
That's
clothes would just disappear in game, but not in a sexy way, like in Mass Effect or something.
Yeah.
You'd just be like, why am I like a naked Wendigo suddenly?
you're just in this erotic T-pose forever.
yeah.
Is that erotic to you?
Maybe.
Okay. I feel like Fallout's the clear winner for us for most justifiably pissed off fan base. How do you all feel? Yeah. Do you agree? gonna give that award. Seems like a clear runaway. With
I think with like Metal Gear, it was more of a, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know what we expected, but like that was like we tried to stay at a party where all the like really cool people very clearly left hours ago. They're like, oh, there's some Hawaiian punch and rum in the fridge. We're like, I guess we'll drink it.
Make something out of that. Moving on next.
And give it a 7, I guess.
To most disappointing delay, Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5 was delayed? I don't even remember. That
What?
feels like a year ago.
You can't just write anything on here.
I wrote all sorts of stuff on here.
All right,
When
we're
did Far
gonna
Cry
see-
5 get
I don't remember. That was supposed to come out last fall, I think. Didn't it get delayed?
I don't think so.
All right, well then take
Actually,
that off the list.
all right, I'm just going straight to-
You got access to the Google Doc? You got a pen?
It's too late.
All right, well
It's
then Far
printed.
Cry 5 has been stricken from the record.
Also, The Crew 2, was that delayed?
Hell yeah, that was delayed.
Okay. So The Crew 2
That was delayed.
is out for the nominee. Spyro Reignited Trilogy, that was delayed from September into November. Battlefield 5, its Battle Royale mode specifically, too, has been delayed until the spring. Like, it isn't coming out day and date with when the game came out earlier this year. Days Gone, obviously, was pushed into now April of 2019. And then Anthem, I think we expected it originally.
So that one, they
February
pulled
this
like a
year.
little aha where they
Yeah.
were like, it's gonna 2018 maybe, and then they did some earning calls. We're like, we wouldn't call it a delay, maybe, I don't, and it's gonna be out later. And good night. It was just like, all right, whatever.
Earning calls sound really fun, actually.
Yeah.
They're talking like that.
They're fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun to me. I have a weird sense of fun.
Coming in
what do you-
2019.
I love those
It's
bottomless
fiscal
earnings
year
calls.
2019.
What do you all think is the most disappointing delay, or what was?
The correct answer, because I love you, is Spyro.
Aw, thank
Because
you.
you were
was a
probably
bummer.
angry.
Don't ask us. There's a whole room full
Yeah.
of people.
How do you feel about? I'm going to go for the ones we actually are sure were delayed. Spyro, was that the modicum of applause?
It's sort of weird because it came out now, and you probably
And
you can
it's
play
yeah,
it.
you have it, so you're
it's like-
feeling better. Days Gone, being delayed, and Anthems, sort of
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like people clapping for disappointment.
disappointment. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, giving this award is actually going to be delayed until Q2 2019. So we're going to come back to it and see how everything's doing then.
We're sending out some bad trophies next year.
We meant to make them out of canvas, but apparently nylon is only available, so...
It's too expensive, really. So.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. Moving on, best facial hair. I almost said most facial hair. Kratos,
Yes.
Arthur Morgan,
Yes.
Rico Rodriguez, and
That's all right.
Joseph Seed. What?
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 Who is
Manny
that?
from Modern Family? What? Oh, Manny Rodriguez. Yeah, so those. He is not one of the nominees. How do you all feel about the facial hair? In
Kratos.
Are you kidding me?
I think for me, Arthur Morgan, I mean, I just let my Arthur Morgan just become a filthy hobo. Like, every single time I looked at him when he was playing poker, it was like that scene behind the dumpster in Mulholland Drive with the, like, you know, like the scary,
Yeah.
terrifying homeless. That was my Arthur Morgan. And I really liked that the game allowed me to make him filthy.
You had to work on that, though. Kratos was born with that. Like, Kratos was born as a baby with a giant ZZ Top beard, looking like a homeless man who's just owning it.
I hear that he has just a profound butt chin under there. In his later years, he just got like a real squeaker down
It's
there.
true, he could be hiding a huge butt chin.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
I think it was Arthur Morgan hands down, because you can make that is a role playing game about facial hair. Like
Yeah.
what kind of a facial hair does this man have, do you think? Like, what character are you playing as?
I kind of want to text Corey from God of War and be like, is your dude hiding a big butt chin?
Yeah.
Text him right now. It's fine.
We
We'll
should
find
figure that
out.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, what's under there?
Let's vote then to the audience. Kratos. If you think Kratos had the best facial hair, give us a good clap. And if you think it was Arthur Morgan, please clap.
Yes.
Wow.
Jared.
Yeah. There's the winner.
I think Arthur Morgan won Best Facial Hair of 2018.
I
Congratulations,
think
Arthur.
he has like a baby butt chin, too.
Probably, yeah.
It's a good beard. I'll give him that.
I threw this last one in just because Andrew made such a big stink about the pizza in Spider-Man. Best in-game pizza, Pizza Titan Ultra or Spider-Man. Pizza Titan Ultra is where you're like a giant robot delivery man delivering pizzas. So it's pretty like anime-ish. Like
Were those the
cartoon.
only games with pizza?
There was probably other, but I put this
But
on
wait,
the list earlier
isn't
today.
one game just entirely themed around pizza?
Around pizza. So do you feel like
Right.
it has an unfair advantage?
I feel like it should probably win. I
Win?
mean, if that's his whole bit.
we did a whole thing on Up at Noon about the pizza in Spider-Man, because I'm weird. And you don't really see a lot of it. There's like, in the DLC, there's a shot where he's eating a slice on a roof, which looks awesome. Also, you see it in a garbage can, and there's a bunch of pizza places around town. I'm giving it to Spider-Man because Spider-Man takes place in New York, and New York has the best pizza.
I like that.
That's a good answer, yeah.
Well, then let's leave it up to a vote. If you think Pizza Titan Ultra had the best in-game pizza of 2018, please clap. Good job. Good job. Sorry, Lucy. And if you think
It's clearly the
Spider-Man
underdog.
had the best in-game pizza, please clap. Think the award goes to Spider-Man. Congratulations, Spider-Man.
I like people clapping for pizza rather
For
than
pizza.
clapping for disappointment.
That is definitely better. Thank you all so much for joining us for the Beyond's Best of the Rest Beyonce's Game Awards 2018.
The first annual.
First annual.
Last annual.
Last annual. We'll find out. We'll make up new awards next year.
Yeah.
Moving on before the show ends, I thought we would do another rendition of Trophy Test. We did Trophy Test, for those who may not know, on the Thanksgiving episode of Beyond this year. Essentially, I come up with a bunch of fake trophies and quiz whoever else is on the show about which trophy is real and which trophy is fake. They do not know these trophies going in whatsoever. I have chosen for this round 3, 4, 6, 7, I think 8 Kingdom Hearts trophies. Because
Wait.
Can't you just
Old-
kick my ass or something?
All Kingdom Hearts
Probably
games,
not.
or just the
No, these are all
two
Kingdom
that
Hearts
I
games.
played?
No, sorry. One from each of the games that I chose from.
Okay.
So
These are real trophies from real Kingdom Hearts games that we really didn't play.
yes.
Got it.
So you'll have to tell me which you think is the real trophy. I want you to tell me which you think is the real trophy.
I think we should do that, and then we'll also tell you how you unlock it.
I'll take that too for extra credit. Each of these will be worth 1 point. Extra credit is 0.5. From Kingdom Hearts 1, first trophy of the 2, One-Winged Angel defeats Sephiroth in the Platinum match at Olympus Coliseum. Trophy option number 2, Against All Strife, defeat Cloud in the Platinum match at Olympus Coliseum.
Okay, so you're telling us how to get the trophies, so there goes my pitch.
Yeah, oh well, for that one, sorry.
Okay.
What do
that's
you
all
think
right.
is the real trophy of those two?
1.
You think 1?
I think 1.
I think 2.
You think 2?
Can you repeat 2 again, and I can pretend like it'll teach me anything?
Against All Strife, defeat Cloud in the Platinum match at Olympus Coliseum.
That sounds dumb enough to be real. I'll go with 2.
No, I'm changing my answer.
What?
So-
I'm changing. Yeah, I don't want to be
Actually, I
wrong.
want to change my answer too. I want to do 1.
This is not
wanna
helping
trade?
me.
Yeah.
So you two are saying 2 is the
Yeah.
real one. You're saying 1. The real answer is 1. One-Winged Angel. You shouldn't have
I
done that
changed
last
my
much
answer
earlier.
at the
I was
last
thinking
second.
about
Why did you
something-
join me? I don't know what I'm talking
Peer
about.
pressure.
I
At
was
all.
thinking of something that made sense. I was like, yes, Cloud Strife. That makes. And then I was like, wait, no, this is Kingdom Hearts. This won't make sense at all. These are the people who made like Dream Drop Distance, and they have like
You know what this is
4
like?
Dream
integer
Drop Distance
decimal
is coming
points
up
in their
later, don't
titles.
worry.
Do you know what this is like? This is exactly like when Sora and Donald Duck reach the top of Olympus Mountain, and
Kiss.
I have no
And
idea.
Kiss. Yeah, that's how
Fight
King,
Shrek or whatever they do up there.
moving on to Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Trophy number 1. Again, tell me which is the real of these trophies. Queen of Hearts. Collect all Alice in Wonderland cards.
That sounds real.
That sounds real, and I'm pretty
They
sure
all
that
sound
is
real.
real.
That's the idea. That's the trick.
Expert Deck Builder. Edit a card deck 500 times.
No,
which of those is the real
one.
trophy?
You know what?
saying
That sounds like something that Kingdom Hearts fans would really love to do.
To edit 500 times.
Yeah, because they're really into just obscene tedium. So that might. No offense, I don't play those games. You can make fun of all my favorite games. I won't. I won't make a big deal about it. I want to say it's 2.
2 is the real one. You're
Yeah.
saying 1. What do you say, Max?
I'm gonna say 2 as well.
The correct answer is 2. Expert Deck Builder.
Ah.
Edit a card deck 500 times.
Excellent.
Sorry, Lucy.
I'm doing so badly.
This is just like when Goofy and
Arbitrary
Winnie the Pooh rode the Pegasus to hell
It's called Hades.
to fight Xena, warrior princess. One
Speaking
of
of
my favorite moments from Kingdom Hearts 2. 3, drop distance 4.5 XD.
We're getting to that one.
Night of 1,000 Days. Game of the Year edition.
Kingdom Hearts Recoded. Which of these is the real trophy?
Is that a real game?
Recoded.
Wait,
yes,
what
coded.
what platform was that on? Like
That was
PSP?
so originally it was a mobile game called
game.
Coded, and then it was recoded on the DS.
And it
These are
has
real
trophies
facts.
support on the PlayStation.
When it was re-released
Thank you
as
for
part of Kingdom
decoding
Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5.
Okay.
40% debugged, complete up to and including Olympus Coliseum. 35.8% debugged, complete up to and including Olympus Coliseum.
Oh, that's such a
Which
trick.
of those is the real one?
Because I know that sounds like a title, because it's a percentage that no one would use realistically in real life ever. which is the perfect thing for Kingdom Hearts. So I think you're tricking us. So I'm going to go with 1.
Do all of these games just take place at the Olympus Coliseum?
Don't ask him that. We will be here until tomorrow.
because they go on the computer apparently and debug things.
Yeah, Recoded is where they go into Jiminy Cricket's journal to debug it.
What?
It's like into like a computer version.
Wait, really?
Computerized version of Jiminy Cricket's journal.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Jiminy Cricket have an iPhone?
It's a written journal that they like digitize, and it's been infected.
He has an infected journal?
Yeah.
Jiminy Cricket has an infected journal.
Yeah.
And people cry when they put out the new trailers for these games?
Yeah. People, me. Yeah.
How did his journal get infected?
Look, this is one of the least loved ones.
Get comfortable, everybody. Wait, what? Does Pinocchio know?
Probably.
Why didn't he stop it?
Did they ask Pinocchio if he knew and he lies and his nose gets bigger?
Was he in that whale and that's why he couldn't help?
Pinocchio fan service.
Monstro is in Kingdom Hearts 1.
The whale.
Monstro the whale, is a world in
Sure,
Kingdom Hearts 1.
great,
He
okay.
swallows the gummy ship as you're flying through space.
The what?
The gummy ship,
Is this how I die?
probably. Anyway,
I just go insane until my head explodes.
40% or 35.8% debugged.
40%.
You're saying that's the real
Yes.
one, Lucy? What do you say?
I'm going to say the stupid one.
the 0.8 one?
Yeah.
And next,
I'm with Lucy on this.
40% debugged is the correct real one.
Yes, I knew
Sorry,
it.
Max
I knew it.
Lucy.
You guys have a limit of
We
how
overthought
much
it.
nonsense you can
There-
inherit.
there
And
is a
it's
limit.
it stops right
The
there.
limit is 358/2, which we'll get to in a bit.
He has an infected journal.
What's in there?
Viruses. They're like weird
Jiminy
black
Cricket
boxes
like
with
looking
red
at porn
lines.
on his
I don't know.
notebook or whatever? Like, did he download LimeWire or something?
That's why Tumblr stopped letting. Yeah.
Moving on to Kingdom Hearts 2. Puppy Protector. Collect all 101 Dalmatian entries in Jiminy's journal.
You got this. Come on. Really?
And Minigame Maniac. Collect all minigame entries in Jiminy's journal. This is from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Is it spelled like Minnie, like Mickey's wife or whatever?
Sadly, no. But
Okay,
that's
I
a missed opportunity.
remember, because I played 1 and 2 way back when. And I remember collecting those puppies.
Okay.
So
This
I'm
is
going
for
to go
Kingdom
with,
Hearts 2.
I'm gonna go with 1.
Okay.
Where were you at in your life, like on a personal level?
I was a really sad student.
I'm gonna go with 1.
1.
Yeah.
That was a real mean trick of me. That's from Kingdom Hearts 1. That is not from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, what?
That is the
That's-
fake one. So none of
What?
you get that one. Yeah.
What kind of?
We're
we
gonna
guessed
get
the
it wrong
correct
anyway.
trophy.
You don't need to be like tricksy about it.
I know, but I just wanted
There's
to.
enough nonsense in these games without you lying about them.
I'm going to give you all 0.5 because that was mean to me. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, we're moving on to. Which trophy is real? A Friend in Need? Clear the Mysterious Tower episode of Ventus's story?
Was that all 1?
That was all 1.
A friend in need, clear the mysterious tower.
That's the description. A Friend in Need is the name of the trophy.
Aventus's story.
Clear the mysterious tower in episode of Ventus's story.
Is that Stormy Daniels' lawyer?
Or number 2, you've got a friend in me. Activate 3 Link summons in 1 battle.
Winsums?
Link summons.
Link summons.
Link summons.
You
Stop.
lose summons,
It's not,
you lose
it's not
summons.
making it easier to hear it a bunch of times.
This is fun for me.
Is that how Jimmy Cricket got those viruses? He clicked on a link
All
summons?
the Link summons, yeah.
Add me on Linksum.
Which of those do you think is the real one?
This is incredibly
I'm going
difficult.
to say 2.
2?
I'm gonna go with 2 as well.
Part of me wants to guess 1. Part of me wants to guess 2. Part of me wants to just run out the door and never come back.
So that's neither for you?
2.
2? It was number 1.
Damn it!
Sorry, everyone.
How
so
did
that
you
was
come
just
up with number 2? You're a weird genius.
You made that
I have
up?
a lot of, yeah.
Linksum?
Link summons. I mean, they like link summons are a thing. Anyway, Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. This is also a
That's
big
the
one.
that's the title.
That's the title. Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days.
like a weekend or
Like 5-8
Yeah.
over 2. What?
358 over 2
days.
days.
So was that like released on the Nokia 3 or
was on the
first edition of the
DS.
PSP? It was on the DS.
Do you have that
Okay.
written? I don't want to look at the answers, but
The first one is Where the Heart Lies, which is to view chapters 75 through 109.
view them?
Yeah, this is just you watch this game in the collection. They don't make you play it.
What?
Yeah, they just put the cutscenes on there. You don't watch like a Let's Play, but you watch like the major.
Do you
story
unlock them
beats.
from the start?
No, you have to watch through them chronologically, I think.
what?
Or so Where the Heart Lies, view chapters
I-
75 through 109.
I need to lay down. Like this is.
Isn't that Michelle Pfeiffer movie where she's like a ghost in the bathtub or whatever?
The Ghost Whisperer?
What was
Or
that? What lies beneath?
That's what I was thinking.
that's right. Or a Heart's
Sorry, I don't know.
Calling.
The last one was a bunch of Randy Newman songs.
what?
I don't know what these
A
trophies
Heart's
are.
Calling.
Wait, that whole thing was the first one?
Yes. Where the Heart Lies or A Heart's Calling. Where the Heart Lies is view chapter 75 through 109, or A Heart's Calling is view days 320 through 358.
Ooh, I hate this.
What?
This was hard to do because there were like 4 trophies in this.
Oh, that's why this was hard to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I came out with like 30 of these.
Like, I'm going to say
the
2, but I'm
struggles.
angry about it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm angry
That's
about
fair.
this question.
Yeah, this feels like being in high school again.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it blindly. Just eeny, meeny, one.
One.
2.5.
Okay.
Yeah, 2.
2. 1 is the correct answer.
Damn it.
Where the Heart Lies.
I
Good
knew
job,
it.
Max.
I don't
Oh, I
remember what
thought-
either of the guesses were.
We have 2 left,
0.5
so I'm going to try to end this
point.
misery as quickly as possible.
Okay.
I'll give you both 0.5 for that.
Why don't you give us 2.8 each?
Perfect.
Yeah.
We're getting to 0.2 in a minute. Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, these 2 trophies. Droplet Magnet, which is rack up 300 or more drop points in one turn, or stop till you drop. Do not collect a single drop point in one turn.
What's a drop point? Will it help?
Did
That's
you
the
not
Wesley
make
Snipes
it up?
movie where he's a skydiver.
That's true. That's a great film.
You are actually kind of like Sora and Riku. You kind of like skydive, and you're like.
So it
collecting.
is like Drop Zone.
Yes. Which
No,
of
it's
those
not.
is the real one?
Can you say them again?
Droplet Magnet, rack up 300 or more drop points in one turn, or stop till you drop. Do not collect a single drop point in one turn.
I want to say 2.
I'm trying to like also try to figure out like your brain and see
Yeah.
which one you're like weird enough to create in your own warped
I
mind.
appreciate that.
There is no limit.
Yeah, there really isn't.
I'm going to go
Lucy.
with 1.
Okay.
I have a good track record of going with Lucy so far, so I'm going to go with 2.
The correct answer is 1, Droplet Magnet. Congratulations, Lucy.
What did I guess?
I
guessed
finally
2.
got a point.
Why did I turn at the last second?
The final question from Kingdom Hearts 0.2, A Fragmentary Passage.
That's not, no. Come on. That's, you can't do
Is
that.
that the,
That's the name of the game.
that's
Why
the
would they
fake-
do that?
But is that you being tricky?
I also just got a notification from Kingdom Hearts Unchained Cross, the mobile game. On
The
my
what?
watch.
On your
Don't
phone?
worry about it. 0.2, A Fragmentary Passage. Which of these trophies is real? A Helping Hand, summon Mickey to assist in the final battle,
Okay.
or Fashionista, equip an item in all wardrobe slots.
I'm going to go with neither because that game does not exist.
It's part of the 2.8 collection.
What?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're making things even harder for us up here.
He's terrifying because he'll just go, he'll completely make up stuff and
There's,
trick us.
there's enough doubt in my mind right now for you to go, that's not a real game.
It's not real.
Okay, so I feel like it'd be incredibly lazy of Mickey to not show up until the last second of his game, right? Isn't he just always there?
He's there occasionally, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mickey's not really putting in the work like that?
I mean, in Kingdom Hearts 1, he doesn't really... the whole thing is, like, you don't really see Mickey the whole time because he's King Mickey. He's kind of like off.
You
in the
actually don't have
background
to
doing
answer
things.
any more of this.
I will. I'll be happy to.
I think it's 2.
You think
I
it's 2
the
is the real
wardrobe
one?
slots.
2? Okay.
What was that again? Dress to impress?
Fashionista, equip an item in all wardrobe slots. Or number 1, which was a helping hand, summon Mickey to assist in the final battle.
I'm going to go with,
I'm going to go with 1 because someone in the audience said 1.
yeah, I'm going to go with 1. And if it's cheating, I don't care anymore.
No, I don't care.
The correct answer is 2. Fashionista.
Damn it!
Equip
What's wrong with
item
you?
in all wardrobe
Really?
You
slots.
people led me astray.
I guess you could say I'm something of a Kingdom Hearts expert.
Who was that? Who? I can't see you, but yeah, you're
I
hiding.
see the lights.
I'm voting for biggest disappointed fan. It's for me, for you. That was very hard to deal with.
Third place is Lucy with 2.8 points.
Listen, I'm proud of that.
2.8 points.
I just assigned the 0.8 randomly. It felt proper.
that's
for this.
a title of a Kingdom Hearts game.
Brian, you got 3 points.
I beat you, and you've
points.
played
3
these
points.
games. That's amazing.
And Max,
so
you won with
disappointed.
4.5 points.
Wow, I guess you could say
Out
I
of 8.
just...
Congratulations, Max.
I think I just beat my first Kingdom Hearts game.
Congratulations, yeah. Only 12 more to go.
No,
you
one
know
of
what?
them you can watch, apparently.
At least 2
It's a
of them,
book
but
that
we'll-
shows itself to you.
Do you know what this is like? This is like when Pluto and Dumbo.
Shut up. We'll discuss that episode on the next episode
great.
of Beyond. Thank you all so much for joining us for this live episode of Beyond. This has been an absolute blast to do for all of you. Before we leave, very quickly, Lucy, where can people find you online when you're not on Beyond now?
You can follow me on Twitter at Luce O'Brien. I'm also on Instagram documenting my weird American adventures. So please join me.
Please post that cheese bag.
I'm going to post that cheese bag.
Brian, where can people find you?
You can find me on Reddit/Kingdom Hearts, where I'll be breaking down some of the hottest news, leaks, really fan theories. I have tons of them.
That's not even how Reddit URLs work.
Head on over. Yes, right there. So thanks.
Perfect. And Max, what about you?
Just Max Scoville. Or you can follow my dog. He's All Peppers with 2 W's. All Peppers on Instagram. Check him out. He's a
Peppers
dog.
is great. Should have had him here for the live show. And I am at JM Dormish on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us there. And of course, every episode of Beyond is live Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific at beyond.ign.com. Thank you all so much for joining us for this absolute blast of an episode. And as always, Beyond.
Yeah.
Beyond.